Hello again. This is going to be part 3 of my class overview of class specific cards. So let's get to it. Next, we are going to go over my next favorite class, the Shaman. Now, why do I think this class is so good? Wind Fairy. This ability is sick, but you have to put it on the right guy. Also, Overload allows you to play effective cards early. You might have to pay for it a little bit later on, but believe me, when your opponent has a lot of bad guys out, you need to take care of them. Lightning Storm is your best friend. 3 mana, potentially deal 3 damage to all the guys. It's amazing. You know, Lava Burst, Overload too. Yeah, it turns 2 mana next turn, but it's 3 mana for 5 damage. You know, you have to plan it out, obviously. Alright. Let's start from the beginning. Excuse me, get a drink. Alright. First card, Industrial Healing. This card, again, needs to be situational. If you're playing in a creature-specific deck, this card could have potential. Obviously, if you're not, you're wasting your time. If it just restored a minion to full, I would say this card is useless, but being that it would also give it taunt, it gives it some worth. Would I put in every single deck I make? No. It would have to be in a specific deck that needs to be more defensive. And I tend to play aggressive with Shamans. I will show you in my series an amazing deck that I killed someone in turn 4 with. So anyways, Totemic Might. Give your totems plus 2 health. Now, depending upon the type of deck you're playing, this card is amazing. Why is it amazing? Well, let's go over here real quick. Your friend, the Flame Tongue Totem. This card is ridiculously overpowered, but it only has 3 health. If your opponent knows what they're doing, they're gonna kill this guy as soon as possible. 2 mana to potentially add 4 more damage output every turn. Just insane. You need to protect this totem as much as possible. And this is a card that will do it. Again, you have to have a deck where you have a specific strategy to keep your totems alive, otherwise this card is useless. Earthshock. Silence a minion and deal 1 damage to it. This card is too situational for it to be reserve a slot in a deck. I wouldn't advise importing it in a deck. Now if this card was deal 2 damage, overload 1, and then silence for 1 mana, I would actually put it in my deck. But 1 mana for 1 damage, it's not worth it. There are other cards you can use that would be better if you wanted to silence. Fourth Lightning. 1 mana, 2 damage, 2 random enemies. Can't get any better than that, man. Like, come on. Yes, it has Overload too, which could suck if you play this card right. It'd be good, because there's a card that can take advantage of Overload, but definitely an amazing card for a Shaman regardless. Frost Shock. Again, like, Earthshock. It only deals 1 damage. Don't waste your time putting it in the deck. Lightning Bolt. 1 mana for 3 damage overload. I would only put this card in the deck if you intend on using it to buff the creature that takes advantage of overload. Otherwise, don't put it in your deck. It's not worth the overload. Warkbearer Weapon. Look, 1 mana, 3 damage. Like a lightning bolt. But better, there's no overload. This card is amazing. In any deck with the Shaman. I would put at least 1 in every deck. Dust Devil. Oh my god. If you can play this card on turn 1, this guy is ridiculously insane. Just imagine. Turn 1 Dust Devil. Turn 2 Rockbearer Weapon. Turn 2 12 damage. Insane. Again, it only has 1 health. It can easily die. Be careful when you play it. If you can play it early, it's amazing. If you get this card on like turn 7 and turn 8, it's just gonna die. Simple as that. Turn 4 next. No. Don't put it in your deck. It would have to be... It's just not good. There are much other better cards that would reserve a better slot. Only 30 cards. Don't put this card is bad. Just don't put it in your deck. Unless again you intend to use it for overload. But still I wouldn't even do it. Ancestral Spirit. I have not seen a Shaman deck that plays big guys. But if you wanted to protect your Wind Fury guys, I could see this card would be useful. Again, very situational. It'd only work in 1 or 2 specific decks. Other than that, don't put it in your deck. Wind Fury. This card could end games if you put it in the right deck. I personally like to have this card, 2 of these cards in my Shaman Murloc deck. Easily overwhelm an opponent. Like turn 3, I could put a Murloc that has 4 attack, give it Wind Fury, bam, it is just destroying away the enemy. It has, again, it's specific to decks that I can go into. If you're playing a creature heavy deck, this card needs to go in here. I don't care, put 2. If it isn't, obviously not. Flame Tongue Totem. This card needs to be in your deck if you have creatures in it, period. And you need to make sure that you position the card next to 2 creatures. What some people that might think is, when they're beginners, oh, let's just put it out in the field. No. You have to actually physically place this card between 2 characters, otherwise it's just gonna only affect 1 creature and not be as good. So make sure you place it between 2 minions. Feral Spirit. This card is like Mirror Image, but an insane mirror image. For the mage, put it in your deck, at least 1. 2, 3 guys with time? Come on. There's such value here. I love this card so much. I don't care about the overload. 2, 3 guys on turn 3. You can use his attack as well. This card is just insane. Combination of power of 4, 6 for 3 mana with taunt. Can't beat it. Hex. This card could just deal with things. If you can, try and reserve this for the big guys late game. Why? Because if you haven't noticed, Shaman spells don't deal a high amount of damage in a single card. So, this is the answer to that. Hex. Turn to him and says you're a 1 frog with taunts. Yeah, you can use it on any menu you want, but just try and save it for a late game situation. Lava Burst. Deal 5 damage. Plain and simple. It's a good card. If you're spell heavy. If not, then no. Lightning Storm. I don't. This. Don't even. Just do what I did right there. Just put 2 in your deck. I don't care. This card is just so much value. Overload 2. Yeah, you're paying 5 mana for this, but you don't have to pay it until next turn. Now, you don't want to play 2 more than 1 overload card in a single turn if you can help it, because it's just going to cause your next turn just to be useless, and then you just lost the value in this card. Always do never play more than 1 overload per turn unless you have the creature out that takes advantage of overload. Which happens to be this character here, which I will go over in a minute. Manatite Totem. Again, just like the previous cards, just put 2 in your deck. Card advantage. If you can get 2 cards out of this, it just paid for itself. If you get more out of it, it's just returning value to you. Just put 2 in your deck, don't think about it. Unbound Elemental. Again, you would basically have to build a deck around this card, and in my honest opinion, building a deck around 1 card, not as good as you think. Now, in future expansions, if they make creatures that take advantage of overload like this guy, yes. My honest opinion, overload Shaman deck, it's not good, because there's only 1 card that can take advantage of it. Windspeaker. Give a friendly minion Wind Fairy. What more can I say? That card is just too good for a creature deck. It's not as good as the Wind Fairy card itself. I would limit it to just putting 1 in your deck, unless you're seriously just trying to go for a Wind Fairy type crazy deck, but I'd just still limit it to 1. The 2 mana Wind Fairy card itself is just so much better, so much more value. Doomhammer. Look at this card. 5 mana, and it has. He can use it 8 times. 5 mana for 16 damage over 4 turns. This card is amazing. Help you clear the board. Help you deal 16 damage to the enemy. Is this card? I wouldn't put more than 1 in your deck though. It's good, but putting 2 in your deck is not good. Bloodlust. You need to put this in a rush type deck. My favorite is the Murloc Shaman Rush deck. This card just destroys. You got 4 guys on the board, you're getting plus 12 attack. That is just ridiculous. You can easily overwhelm a game where guys think, oh well, I'm only gonna take 10 damage this turn, okay, I can play this card and live. Bam, you bust this out. Game over. That's what I consider a game changer. This card is definitely a game changer, but you need to make sure that you have creatures on the board. And if they keep killing your creatures, then it ain't gonna do anything. But again, regardless, it needs to go in a deck that's aggressive. Earth Elemental. Oh my god. This card is so worth putting it out, even with the overload. Being able to play this guy on turn 5, 7 attack, 8 health is just insane. I would easily pay overload 5 for this card. Just think of it. Turn 5, they got a guy who plays a cheap little, whatever, 3, 4, 4, 5, and then you pop out a 7, 8 with taunt. Oh my god, it's so aggressive. Put it in any deck. It's epic for a reason, believe me. Fire Elemental. This card is yes, it's 6 mana, but it's a 6/5 that deals 3 damage. It's good, believe me. This card can be used to finish off a guy. This card can be used to help you burst down the opponent. It's very good. And then also, there's combinations where you can use this card, and then there's another card you can use to return it to your hand, and then you cast it again, and it can be used that way. But even if you just play it just once, it still has good value to put it in the deck. Again, has to depend on the type of deck you're building. Alakir the Windlord. This card is, you could say it's ridiculous. I seriously think this card needs to have 1 or 2 more health. Why? It's 8 mana. Yeah, it has Wind Fairy Charge, Divine Shield, and Taunt. But the reason why you would want to play this card is to try and take out a guy. And if you're trying to take out a guy, that guy is probably going to have 5 or 6 health. And this guy's just going to get one-shotted. After you play it, you just basically play it in 8 mana for a removal. Yeah, you can use it for its taunt, but you know what? You can't win Fury when it's the opponent's turn, so I don't believe that this card is legendary worthy. It has a lot, but it's a 3/5 for 8 mana. I could potentially deal 6 to hit. If you're a creature heavy deck, put it. If not, don't put it in there. Alright, that's it for all the Shaman cards I have. I'll go over the next class, and that's all next time. See ya.